Welcome back, everyone. So, tomorrow is Canada Day, which is why we thought we would take a trip across the country with Canadian cocktails. Here to toast us with Canadian spirits is the founder and beverage director of Liquid Culture, Monica Carbonell. Hi, Monica.
Hi, ladies.
We're so excited about this, Monica. It's going to be like a Canadian journey, and you're going to highlight homegrown spirits. And we're starting on the West Coast with BC. What did you bring us?
So, cideries have been a fact of life in BC for decades now. They truly started the craft movement. That's where it started. And the first official brew pub on the continent actually started in BC. So, they really fed the craft movement before it was even cool. Now, today we're going to be showcasing grower cider because they're one of Canada's original cider houses. And with that, we're preparing a cocktail with Empress Gin. Now, it's unique because it's a collaboration between Victoria Gin and the legendary Fairmont Empress Hotel in Victoria, BC. Now, what they've done is they've infused their signature black tea blend with the butterfly pea blossom, which gives it its natural color here.
Monica, you might know that I lived in BC for 15 years, so it has a special place in my heart. And this Empress Gin also has a special place in my heart because Yasik and I had our first weekend date there at the Empress Hotel. So, how
Oh,
do
that's
you
amazing.
make this drink?
So it's very simple. What you're going to do is grab your Collins glass and make sure that it's filled with ice. Now, I did mention a bit of the color, which will come into play because the butterfly pea blossom will actually change when you add a different pH or acid to it. So we're going to pour 1 ounce of the Empress Gin. We're going to pour half an ounce
Wow.
of freshly squeezed grapefruit juice. Oh yeah, you wait and see. This is going to be beautiful. Okay, and then we're gonna put for the sugar component a honey syrup, which is just simply a equal parts of honey and water. And then we're gonna top it off with our grapefruit cider from growers.
Oh,
That
So
looks
see
so
that color,
refreshing.
right?
Oh, it's purple, right? Am I seeing it right on my screen? Is it purplish?
It's definitely purple. And like see where it started from.
You are checking all my boxes because purple is the color of BTS.
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing.
It's so pretty. I love it. So now we're heading to the prairies. What have you brought for us from Alberta?
Alberta was always known for pretty much one thing for a very long time, and that was Crown Royal. Now, they have been very creative with the whiskey category,
Yeah.
even offering a colorless aged whiskey. But I wanted to showcase the creativity of the province with some very unique different spirits. So Eau Claire Distillery has been one that brought really great gins, but one of the things that really stuck out to me in their portfolio was the Equinox Prickly Pear, which is a barley-based spirit, so it's going to be very similar to a vodka, but it's infused with prickly pear, so it's going to be a little bit on the sweeter side, but a great vodka substitute.
It's almost like you're speaking directly to me, this prickly pear, because that's how some people would describe me. So, what cocktail did you put the prickly pear in?
Basically, I created a very berry sour. What you're going to do is going to grab a shaker. You're going to add your Eau Claire prickly pear Equinox. Then we're going to add Kinsip Cassis, which if you love berries, Cassis is always a very versatile liqueur to have on your bar. You're going to add Haskap berry jam, freshly squeezed lemon, and some mint. And you're going to shake that all up, double strain, and you got this beauty right here.
I'm embarrassed here. I consider myself a berry enthusiast, but I have not heard of Haskap berries. What is it, and is there a substitute for it if I can't find it?
So a lot of berries can actually work with this cocktail, but Haskap berries is so uniquely Canadian. I really wanted to highlight it. Basically, it was bred at the University of Saskatchewan at the fruit program so that the berry can actually sustain our extreme varying climates. Now, it's going to have little seeds, much like grapes, but if you want to know what it tastes like, it's going to have a blueberry skin on the outer side, but it's going to taste like raspberry, a combination of black currant, and Honeycrisp apple. Like it's a flavor bomb.
So, our next stop is Ontario. What are you featuring from Ontario?
Now, there's no way we can talk Canada without bringing up whiskey. Now, before the most famed Ontario whiskey greats, we have, Hiram Walker, we have Weiser, Seagram. Before them, Ontario actually had a thriving micro distillery scene. In the early 1800s, Ontario actually had over 150 small distilleries. Now, I use that term loosely since mostly it was people's farms and they would just have a pot still and share it with the neighbors. Now, things changed obviously with the prohibition, but things have definitely turned around. Ontario has a growing independent distillery movement, and definitely one of my favorites is Collingwood Rye, coming from, as you can guess, Collingwood.
Now, people tend to think of whiskey cocktails as kind of spirit forward and very stiff, but you say they can also be light and refreshing. So tell us about the cocktail you've made and what to keep it in mind to keep it sort of summery.
So with whiskey, because it has a dominant palate, you want to just pair it up with aggressive, kind of loud flavors like your strawberries, your passion fruit. Basically, a lot of citrus works really well with whiskey. Plus, you want to make sure you're adding the sugar to balance it all out. Now, the cocktail that I created uses all that. So we're going to be adding some fresh strawberries into your shaker. You're going to muddle that and add your honey, your Collingwood rye, hibiscus bitters, and then we're going to shake that all up, strain it into a glass over ice, and then we're going to top it off with the Rosato Bambino. So a nice sparkling rosé to bring it all together.
Ooh, this looks very, very good. Okay, our next stop is Newfoundland, where Simon and I were lucky enough to live for 6 months. Now, we never did get screeched in. We had our fair share of drinks, shall we say, with our friends, but not screech, as far as I can remember. So, for those who are unfamiliar with the practice of getting screeched in, can you tell us about it?
So first and foremost, screech rum actually comes from Jamaica, and it's been like this for about 200 years. What we would do is we would trade our salt fish in exchange for rum, and this has been a tradition and very part of Newfoundland's culture and tradition. So to become an honorary Newfoundlander, all tourists and newcomers are supposed to get screeched in, and they're also called the Royal Order of Screechers. So it entails a certain amount of steps. First, you got to select a master of ceremonies, which is typically someone who is from Newfoundland. Next, you want to add and make sure you're prepping your screech rum. Now, typically when you're doing this, you have it as a shot, but you can do it in a mixed drink. Next, start to pucker up and kiss a salt cod fish.
Okay, I really want to go to Newfoundland eventually when we are all out of the pandemic. Hopefully I'll make my way there. But in the meantime, what cocktail can I drink to honor Newfoundland?
So being as this is a Jamaican rum, I really wanted to celebrate that and create a summer tropical cocktail. So what I've done is basically you pour crushed ice into your glass, and then in a shaker, you're going to add all your ingredients. So it's the screech rum, we're going to have pineapple juice, we're going to have lime juice, we're going to have our bitters, which I'm using Potion House because it's Canadian. So we're going to add that, shake everything up, and then we're going to pour this over the crushed ice, top with the ginger beer, garnish with a mint and pineapple.
This all sounds so delicious and so perfect for Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, Monica. Happy Canada Day to you, all of you watching. More details and information about these recipes will be up on our website after the show, and we'll be right back.